Okay. Now they should ask, the system will probably ask you and warn that we are recording, so please agree with that, because it was my action. And now, Francisco, it's your turn.
Okay. You can see?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. This first sample, this is the first interactivity content. This is the drag and drop images.
Yeah, this is some examples using the, I think it's H2, how was the name, Francisco, of this software you are using for this one?
H5P.
It's H5P software. Now, this is some samples of activities that we can integrate in the Moodle for practical activities, and you can continue showing, Fran.
Yeah. Vamos a ver un momento.
Just to be sure, it's intended as a content of the result too. The learning platform, because I think we are not now able within the timelines to include it into our modules. We are preparing for result 1. Yes, so that's the result 2.
One moment, please.
Yeah, but isn't it? We will put on the platform the content of the modules from result 1. Isn't it true?
Yeah, I think it should be the main part of the result to transform.
So transforming from PowerPoint to H5P, it will be.
No, but we can also integrate
difficult.
PowerPoint, and Fran, if you can show us some of the PowerPoint models, for example,
yeah,
it would be integrated.
This example.
So this is an output from our PowerPoint slide into the learning platform. I think we were talking about Moodle, if I'm right. So, and do you need us then to transform, or will you transform the PowerPoint into some, let's say, middle format before uploading to the learning management system?
No, we can use either PowerPoint or any other software that you want to use. Francisco, you can show it maybe the model from Maria's project where the contents are shown.
Importante, si lo puedes decir, Oscar. Sorry. Translate with me, okay? Estos son todos los contenidos, le podemos mostrar. Y tienen...
yes, because we talked about making it more interactive. It's also like the possibility of adding like any interactive tool that we want to include, maybe as activities of the models or whatever. Y Fran, si fuese la de María que aparecía en los contenidos así en un lado, que podías
sí, claro.
Okay, so it's just an offer of extra, let's say, features we could add if we agree.
Yeah. And this way, like the contents will be shown inside the models, for example, and you can click on the page and on the different lessons for like making quizzes or stuff like that.
Oh yes, so that will be transported into, well, I think that from your offer, if I remember, there were some quizzes, and I think we are expected to provide some sample quiz questions anyway, so definitely quizzes will be as an interactive feature already included in our materials, and then we should discuss whether to add something more or less. But quizzes are, I think, planned, and it's something like which is
yeah, and also like the certificates are awarded, we can manage to do it like including like the activities that you have gone through and the quizzes that you have gone through,
Yeah.
and to be like automatically sent.
Yeah, this is
Can
for this is for a quiz as a sample.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
So far, what you showed us is a little bit more on practical and interaction on quizzes. Yeah.
Yes.
But as part of the actual content, for example, we have a PowerPoint with a lot of content slides.
Yes.
How do you suggest that we will create SCORM content of them? Because the quizzes, these are really nice. H5P allows for a lot of, interactivity, a lot of different types of questions. I mean, Fatma is really good at H5P. She's done a lot of training on that. But how do you propose that we do the actual content? Because the quizzes, these are really nice that you show. I mean, if we can have a variety of that, that would be great. But remember that currently for our quizzes, I think we only have multiple choice questions. We haven't planned for, I don't think we have drag and drop or fill in blanks.
But we have also like, that's only like the possibility. Maybe
I know the possibility. I know the possibilities are endless, and these are really nice. And I think if Francisco uses H5P, that would be great, or this type. But can you show a little bit, for example, the previous platform that you were on, how a lesson is actually structured? Because what you showed before was just a PDF. So I'm just want to show how you're going to make the actual PowerPoint into a SCORM, the actual content, not the quizzes, but the content, the pictures, the text that we have inside.
Okay.
Your suggestions for that.
Fran, si puedes enseñarle pues sugerencias de cómo lo que es los contenidos.
Yeah, because this is H5P. Are you proposing that we use H5P for the content?
Yeah.
It's that if we need to make it more interactive, like we can use like H5P.
Yeah, but
Because
that will complicate things from our part, because we need to give you what interactions we want.
Yeah.
Go for instance, for now we only have PowerPoints. Okay, you can do whatever to transfer them in SCORM, but with H5P, it will be a lot of work for us also, not only for you.
Okay.
So consider this. I mean,
yes,
okay,
I think
we suggested like H5P because there was a talking well, but that maybe like this model seems like some of the models seems like not a lot of not very interactive.
Yeah, because the content has to. What have you done in other platforms for content? Is it just you've uploaded PDFs?
Fran, si puedes enseñarnos otras, sorry.
No,
Si
that's
puedes
okay.
enseñarnos otras plataformas en las que estén, cómo están los contenidos, que no sea solo PDFs, los contenidos que no sean solo PDFs, que sean pues más variedad de...
So if you click main course, yes, there, and you go to one page, not the quiz, but lesson one. Yeah.
yes, that's something which is similar to our output we have.
Maybe you can show like some with month content.
So it's
maybe you can show us the one with Maria with the interactive videos embedded on the mural, Fran.
Okay.
I think if we see, you know, a couple that you've done, we can, I think, all together select which ones would fit better.
So this would be like one of the samples of how can the content be integrated, and maybe embedding also the PowerPoints inside it.
And I also suggest a tool.
Yeah.
In other projects, we use interactive book among H5P. We use one interactive book template per module. And this tool allows to use text, images, videos as content, and it's possible to add interactive questions too. So each of us can use one interactive book, and I think it's easy to adapt our PowerPoint content into interactive book.
This is done with Google Slides.
No,
No, the one-
H5P.
I know,
Esto
but
esto
one
está
that-
hecho con Google Slides, Fran.
No, directamente alojamos los vídeos para evitar problemas de plataforma y demás. Los alojamos y embebemos lo que es el código. Es un iframe embedded. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, for the videos are all hosted inside of the Moodle, but Fran,
Dime.
este PowerPoint que estás enseñando está hecho con Google Slides.
Sí,
Yeah,
Este
so
sí.
this PowerPoint is made with Google
Hmm.
Slides.
Okay, so if I understand, then you are able to proceed with PowerPoint slides. We prepare with result one, because I think the idea is there's a result one which should be transmitted or then uploaded to this platform. We have already planned some quiz questions, and I think that we may decide to add something extra, but not to complicate things much, because probably our capacity going beyond, because we have learned to work with augmented reality, and if you say there is another software, then I'm not sure whether I'm able to manage it. I don't know how it is difficult to work with HP5, because it's something completely new for me. So well, I take it that it's always interesting to learn new things within the projects. That's of course interesting, but just to think about capacity. So if it's a possibility to put, let's say, a little bit, yes, let's find the possibility, but maybe the main part will be the quiz question. Well, Sophia, what do you think as the main one of the main architects of the project?
Oh, I mean, whatever we all decide. I think what you showed before, Francisco, the one with the Google Slides. I think, Fatma, this is also kind of like similar to the interactive book of H5P. So if we can use something like the Google Slides and perhaps add the videos inside and have it a little bit more interactive, if everybody's happy, something like that, I don't know. Katalin, what do you think? Katalin?
Well, I think Katalin told me at the beginning that above
I know he's
half past 11 he
Okay.
might have not be available, but he seems to me still connected. So
I know that it's their holidays now, so he's making.
yeah.
But what do you think? The rest? I mean, if we use something, Fatma, the interactive book from H5P. That means that each partner needs to go in and do some work, and then you have all the translations, so that might be a bit tricky. But Francisco, if we use the PowerPoints and we kind of like convert them into Google Slides, and we can add a little bit more interactivity, can we add from H5P into Google Slides? Can we add one H5P quiz question, for example, into the Google slide?
Por ejemplo, se pueden añadir preguntas en el formato del H2P,
H5P.
H5P dentro de las Google Slides? O integrar las dos
Mm.
cosas.
No.
No? Okay. But I think Lucas, what they showed with the Google Slides, perhaps that's the most a little bit more interactive because you have the navigation buttons between.
Mhm.
Bye, Catalin. That's okay.
Bye.
Bye.
So if we create something like the Google Slides for our
Bye.
PowerPoints, yeah, and then
Bye. Thank you for taking part.
so if we use the Google Slides and then we add the navigation underneath, and then, you know, in between we break up the Google Slides, and in between we have the quiz questions, which are more interactive. We have a combination of that. What do you think?
Yes, I think we already have some Google Space for Vital projects, so we can use it to store Google Slides and so on. So I think it makes sense. And I think you point another important point that adding more interactivity. It's a question whether to prepare, let's say, English version with maybe some other features, but then there is also a question what we prepare and what we translate to other languages. So to think about that. My question is, if you say about H5P, I'm sorry, I'm a layman. I do not know. You need some extra software to buy to prepare.
No, H5P is free, and you can add it as a plugin in Moodle. You can add it in websites, so it's free and it's very, very easy to use. But it requires that, you know, us as partners, we might do some extra work to go in to translate, you know, specific parts. But it's very interactive. It gives you a lot of options. So, for example, what we can do is, let me know if you agree, I'm brainstorming a little bit, but we can make the Google Slides, we can have the quizzes as H5P, and at the end, we can use H5P interactive book to create, you know, kind of like a flip book for every PowerPoint that we have. Fatma, can we do that as well?
For what? The PowerPoints for
Each
interactive book?
PowerPoint, each module, if we create also one interactive book with H5P for each module.
Yeah, actually, I was suggesting that because some tools in H5P has more features. It's like course presentation, like interactive book, interactive video, and I really like interactive book. It includes a lot of interactions among H5P. We can add video, images, text, and for the evaluation questions, we can use true or false, drag and drop, image hotspots, a lot of things. For each module, we can.
How long does it take to create one module in the H5P interactive book?
But actually, as we already have some texts in our PowerPoints, it's easy to copy them for text parts. And for the self-evaluation parts, we can easily adapt them. So I think, depending on your skills, because we already know the tool, we already discovered that. But for Lucas, there are tutorials on the website for each tool. You can just check the tutorials and you can discover if you want to use that tool.
My concern is a little bit the translation of it. So for example, if Francisco's team makes the English version, how easy it is to make the translated ones?
We can do that as we did in WiseMind. We will copy all the English content and partners will directly go inside the tools and just translate the related parts. They will not recreate the tools again. It is possible to copy all the H5Ps and just directly translate inside the tools.
Okay, so Lucas, this is one decision we need to make. Can you send an example, Fatma, from an interactive book so that we see?
I can just show one if you want directly from the website. Do we have time for that?
Yes, I think. Well, I personally, I'm waiting for Sandrina to join after 12 o'clock, so I'm still connected. Yes, that's would be useful to see some example what we are talking about.
Yeah, let me check it.
because
it's
Jonathan's
here.
team is not in and the Catalin's team is not in. So I'm a little bit hesitant to take, you know, a decision on.
Yes, exactly. I wouldn't say that we should take decision now. I would say just pragmatically that now the most important is to finish the result one. Once we finish result one, then we can open the question how to proceed further. But maybe for inspiration, and because I think that maybe on April or May we will have another online meeting just to have ideas how to start with the R2 task. Yes, Fatma, you can comment, please.
Okay, so this is the tool. Here you can see the titles, the main titles, and it is possible to add some more subtitles for them. And if we check the first page, you see it's possible to add images, text, and image hotspots. When we click on this plus, new text appears. It's possible to add tables. And you see here there is an interactive assessment activity. When we clicked on that, it's set of questions actually. When we clicked on that, we can easily, immediately get the learn if it's correct or not as a learner. When we scroll down, you see here is that drag and drop image, and we can see the score. And we can move to the next page. You see it's possible to add videos. And you see another interactive self-assessment question, fill in the blanks, fill in the missing words.
Exactly.
And you see it's possible again to use image hotspots, drag and drop.
Yeah.
So after each subtitle, we can add an evaluation question. Or at the end, we can add a general overview self-assessment test. Here you see it's multiple choice question. Again, so the tool allows us to choose which one to use. I can choose any of these self-assessment tools to use. And here I can see the summary scores. And yeah, that is all. And for example, in PowerPoint, we created the content for carbon neutral practice and EU Green Deal. So carbon neutral practices can be one title, and EU Green Deal another one, and I can add the subtitles. As we all have text and images in our PowerPoints, we already have some contents, right? And we would also create self-assessment activities. So we can change them, we can convert them as true, false, or drag and drop, or multiple choice questions, and we can increase the interaction. So we already have some content actually.
So what you show us now is it has a lot of interactions because it's an example. Yeah. For us, it would be a little bit more text and more pictures, for example, and we can scroll back and forth and we can add our self-reflection questions and quizzes, etc.
Yeah, but we will anyway, we will improve our content, right? I didn't have the chance to check your recommendations, but from the presentations done in Huelva, we will update our content. So we can make the adaptations accordingly, according to this template.
Yes, provided by Sofia and Theodora. Anna will send a link to it, and it's already uploaded. My layman question again, does it mean that this content is then uploaded to Moodle, or does it serve as an another platform instead of Moodle?
It's inside Moodle. Like
inside Moodle.
I can show you a more simple example. For example, have you finished that? Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for presentation. Because with Moodle, I'm able to transform the Moodle course into our Moodle system. So that's probably an easy way how to share it.
Sorry, are you seeing my screen now, or? I am showing correctly. Are you seeing now my screen with some sustainable development goals?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. So, for example, this is inside the Moodle platform. You can just click on the different
Okay.
contents,
This is-
and it will show you just text with extra information. And this is directly on the Moodle platform, so there's no additional resources needed.
And so it's easily transferable from one Moodle platform to another Moodle platform, like backing up the course and uploading to another Moodle system. Or is it any problem then with that?
No, and I mean, and it's easily like done through if we have already the content.
I
So
think it
not-
exports as Fatma, as SCORM. Francisco, does it export as SCORM or zip
Yes.
files? H5P exports as zip files.
Zip
If they
files.
want to move zip files. So Lucas, you can take the zip files and just transfer them to another Moodle, correct, Francisco?
Yes, I
Or-
think. Yeah.
or clone or copy the other course,
Yeah.
the other models, and implement it in this model. Okay, this.
Yes, that was my
Sorry.
idea, that I am able to transform the whole course then from one Moodle to another. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to summarize the suggestion for consideration, as we said, we are probably not at the position now to make a final decision and say yes, we will do that, but it's useful probably if you could, maybe Fatma or Oscar, Francisco could send us a link to those examples we said, though I'm recording, of course, this session, but maybe it might be useful to go through the examples if possible, and to think over and then to sing. And I think we should think about the balance to make it interactive and attractive, but also not to add a lot of extra work doing to add all the features. Because yes, I agree that interactivity is important. It's something we want to include, but to find some balance, and that probably should be an extra point for online meeting. But thanks for inspiration. I think it's good, and as I said, for me personally, it's always interesting to learn new things within projects like this. So for me, this H5P is something I will look at and think about it. Okay. So thank you. It's something I record and put into minutes, that there is a this suggestion that well, maybe please just correct me how to say some conclusion from that, that there is a possibility to add some interactivity with H5P tools into our course materials, and then we will discuss it on the meeting with all partners later, how to proceed with preparation the content for the LMS system.
Yeah, I think what we need to know is if we're going to use the interactive book for our content or the Google Slides. Because for the quizzes, we can use H5P. It's very nice. I mean, we have the quizzes ready, so that can be used, and they're going to be on a separate part of the platform. But for the actual content, that it would be good if we can see, you know, are we using Google Slides, and are we using or the interactive book from H5P? And if we use the interactive book from H5P, what does it mean as extra work for the partners in terms of translation? I think that's the main, because Francisco, if you use Google Slides, you can take the Spanish version or the Greek version and you will do the work. Yes, we don't need to help you in that.
Yes, if we have the Google Slides, I mean, we just will send you the text, and you will just translate it in a Word document, and we will, like, as long as we have the original slide, it's easy to do it.
Because for the partners will translate the PowerPoints.
Yes.
So you will have the PowerPoints. So the question is if we're going to go with Google Slides, if we're going to go with interactive book. So Lucas, perhaps add this in the minute for us to take a decision. If Francisco and Oscar, you can put a Google slide example content on the Google Drive, and Fatma, if you can put give us a link for a ready-made, not this with the strawberry because it has a lot of interactivity, so it's, you know, it doesn't really show a content, but if you have something else that you did with H5P, if you can just send the link so that we can, you know, see a content, a lesson, how that would be, so that we can decide.
Yeah, I think it's good. Thanks, Sophia, for summary. And let's say that after finishing the task one, we should really discuss and concentrate to the decision, to come to decision, because I think it would be too late then to come to decision in Istanbul in November, because then there will be not much space to work on it. And as it was pointed out in Huelva, we still need to put into timesheet before interim report that we already worked on some the task 2, because task 1 officially finishes at the end of March. So in the timesheets for April and May, it cannot be put that we were working on H1. Yes, I think it makes sense to try to find balance. If I understand, making Google Slides, it's quite straightforward, because from PowerPoints you can transform it quite easily, and then, well, usually it gives some change of formatting, so just some minor changes, but it's much more straightforward than to go the books. Or you suggest to combine, to have, for instance, let's say 1 slides or books for the content and then the quizzes for HAP, if I understand. But that's all things we should think about, and then after discussion decide. Okay, so thank you for your attention. That's all from my side, but of course, if somebody of you has some other points, we could probably make agreement with Hannah about working on case studies, or I don't know if you already solved that in another way, but we can do it bilaterally again. So it's open now if there is any other suggestion.
Lucas, I have a question.
Yeah.
We will prepare the financial report, and for the timesheets, the time period, I just want to be sure. So the Gantt chart in Google Drive is the last one, right? So does it need any update or something?
I think that Gantt chart in the Google Drive was updated, I think, after Malta meeting, and I think since that there was no extra shift of the date, so the Gantt chart is valid. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you, because even for the others, the reference is that officially we should finish the work on the first task at the end of March. So even with the translations, you can now put it into this period, because we couldn't probably we couldn't put the translations in April or May, because then we are supposed to work on the second task, and we will start to work on it, in fact. Okay.
So before we finish, maybe it's a good moment to take some screenshots for dissemination.
Oh yes, thanks, Oscar. Okay, switch to gallery view, please, so that I wouldn't be the dominant person, just but to see
So perfect. I took a couple of them.
Great. Thank you very much for thinking about it, because it's important as an event. It's a pity we didn't do it with Catalan, but unfortunately.
You recorded it, so it's just take a screenshot from the recording. So that
Yes,
that's a good idea.
You're right.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you, Francisco, for sharing and taking time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So please, let's work on the task 1 to be completed and to be able to then proceed to other tasks, because we see that it might be also an interesting and engaging work to transforming the content and to LMS. Thank you.
Enjoy your weekend. We have Carnival here in Greece.
Really?
Oh, yes.
That's great. If you have also good weather for the carnival, so
Yeah, good. It's the second biggest after Venice.
Mm,
Yeah. Very big.
How do you call this carnival?
Carnaval.
It's the
Carnavale.
same
So
in
what-
Spain, the name.
Yeah.
What
it's
is
the
this tradition? Because I never heard about that before.
No, we have in the city of Patra, they have a huge procession. Their university there has a department, just a degree just for the carnival. So how they learn how to make all these rides and everything. So this week it's just parties and masqué parties and carnival. Yeah,
mm.
very nice.
Very
It's a nice
enjoy.
period to be in Greece.
Really good. Have
Yes.
fun and enjoy.
So enjoy. That
Thank
sounds.
you.
So,
Take care.
so
Bye.
take care,
Bye-bye.
goodbye, and thank you for joining.
And have fun in
Bye.
the carnival.
Oh, I will.